Hello everyone and welcome to today's YouTube video for watercolour month, and today's prompt is tickle. So for tickle I thought, you know what, I'm going to open up my gansai, tambi, kuretaki watercolours and see how they act, see what they're like to use. So I've never tried these before and I thought, you know what, feathers is a nice fun way to test the colours. So let's get into it and open these. So as you can see, they've got a beautiful box, so they come wrapped in plastic like this. I'll rip the cover off, and it's a lovely textured box actually. So I've got on the front, wrapped around the box, was this little colour chart, so with all the English translations of the different colours in there. So we've got rose madder, red, common, cadmium scarlet, black, oh it's got a black, rose madder deep, cobalt violet, lemon yellow, carmine, or cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, no, raw, malachite, oh my god, that looks beautiful, sap green, hooker's green, that's going to be a beautiful feather colour, I'm a bit excited, hooker's green, sap green, olive green, viridian, there's a lot of greens, turquoise green, sap green deep, ultramarine pale, turquoise, ultramarine and indigo. Woohoo. Okay, let's have a go. Let's open them up first and have a look and see what they're like. Oh, they've got a little testy doodah, so I can put the colours onto the box. That's a clever idea. So I can do my colour swatches into here, which I will do. I might not do that at the moment, or maybe I will. So they've got, oh, okay, they've got a little plastic thing over them. Let's see if I can get that off. Okay, a little plastic protector, which I'll just pop that to the side. And we have got all our pans. So what we might do first actually is do a bit of a swatch, I think. Let's make a swatch card and see, just a basic one. I'm not going to go to a whole lot of fuss. So I'll pop up my piece of paper first, because I do want to see what they're like. And I've never tried these before, so this will be fun. So I'm just going to do them in order that they are on the box. I'll just clean my brush and let's get into it. So first of all, oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, they go onto the paper beautiful. So I'm using a watercolour paper, my Fontaine watercolour paper. It's hot press. Oh, I like that. Oh, you can't even see that. Hang on, I'll drop it down. There we go. I like that a lot. Okay. Clean my brush again. This will be fun because these are beautiful colours. So the next colour in English is rose madder. So that one was, what was that one? That one was red. This one is rose madder. Oh, it's really pretty. It's very pretty, in fact. Very pretty. And I've literally just putting water on the brush and dropping that straight into the pans. So next, clean my brush, is, oh, that's pretty too. Oh, I'm liking all of these colours. I have to say, I am liking all of these colours. So that colour is Rose Madder Deep. Pretty. So I'm going to be able to use these a lot. I like the opacity or semi-opacity of these. Like, I like that they're not completely transparent. It's the daisy. So I'm going to do a bazillion different colours of feathers after this. I'll pop that where you can see it a bit better. So now I'm going to use my cadmium yellow. So I'm just laying out my colour chart exactly the same layout as the palette. Like that. That's cadmium yellow. Very nice. I don't know whether I'm going to leave them in this box or I will try and find them. I could find a steel palette that's going to be able to sort of hold this, or I might even get my husband to make a palette for me that I can store them in a bit better. Because with me, this cardboard probably is not going to last forever. So I might get him to make me up a different kind of box. I think this is a yellow ochre. Let's have a look. It is yellow ochre. Nice, okay. I've heard lots of things about these, but I haven't tried them, so I'm fascinated to see how they go. Next is olive green. There's a lot of greens in this palette, which will be really nice for flowers and stuff, I suppose. I do like my greens, I have to say. I do like my greens a lot. And these are quite lovely. Quite lovely. I clean my brush between every pop into the palette. This is a sap green, I think. I'll just double check. What is this? Yes, this is sap green. Sap green light, in fact. Sap green light, number 51. Very pretty. Then go standard sap green. One thing I have noticed, and I have seen in other reviews as well, is the palettes are about halfway to the top. They're not quite full, which is fine because I think you get an awful lot of pigment for very little. Like you don't have to try hard to get it. Some of my other paints I have to re-wet a ton to get any pigment up off the pans. So this one is Hooker's Green. Oh, that's a pretty one. So far I'm loving the greens. Loving the greens a lot. Great little range of greens. Next, Sap Green Deep. And it doesn't take much to get it up onto the palette. That's up off the palette, I mean. Does not take much at all. The only other thing that I can say about this is you need to have a separate watercolour mixing palette. But that's fine because I use separate mixing palettes anyway. I very rarely, unless I'm travelling, use my travel palette mixing trays. I use little porcelain trays. I've got these lovely little porcelain mixing trays. You can get rather cheaply pretty much anywhere. You can even use a white plate if you've got one. Hello, Madonna. How are you, doll? Hello. I'm trying my gansai tambi watercolours today. I'm just popping them out on the palette to have a quick look-see at what they're like. Get them a test. Oh, that's a pretty colour. And I'm going to paint feathers, lots and lots of feathers in all different colours today for a bit of fun. For the prompts tickle today. So this colour, what colour is that? That is, oh, that's Viridian. I was going to say ultramarine then. That was totally not ultramarine. That's Viridian. So how's your day been, Madonna? How have you been, doll? So Viridian. Next is turquoise. I'm excited to see this one. Turquoise Green Deep. I'm very excited about this one. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Woohoo. That's gorgeous. Okay, I'm in love with this already. I'm in love with these colours. I am in love with these colours. And these are the craft paint. Like they're not, I don't know a whole lot about them quality-wise, like light fastness, any of that. I don't know any of those facts yet. I just know that I love these colours. So next is Malachite. Hello, Shane. How you going? Going to Malachite. I was probably most excited about this colour. Ooh, that's pretty. So how are you going, mate? How are you going, Shane? So do the Malachite. That is really pretty. That is. I actually got a request to paint a coral reef just recently, and these have got definite coral reef colours. Definite coral reef colours in here. Hot? Yes. Yes, I'm so glad it's winter here. Next is Ultramarine Pale. New art stuff, fun. They look really pigmented. They are, Madonna. I mean, I'm very excited. I'm very excited because I love the vibrancy of them. They are very pigmented. Like I'm not sure of any of the chemical makeup or any of that stuff. I just know that I like them already. Shane meet Madonna, Madonna meet Shane. How are you? Everyone meet everyone. So that's a really lovely colour. So next, that's ultramarine pale. So you get colours you don't get in other watercolours. And because these, I think, are designed more for the Asian market, and they do lovely, lovely, lovely watercolours. I love the Asian birds when they paint on silk paintings and things. I love, you know, the way they paint their scenes. So that is ultramarine. No, yes, that is ultramarine. And next is turquoise. So I've got a couple of different turquoises. Oh, I like that one too. Ooh, this is fun. So I'm going to be painting feathers. I was sitting up thinking, what on earth am I going to do for the prompt tickle? I didn't want to do people being tickled. I thought, nope, I'm going to do feathers because they can be used to tickle. Okay, next is number 67, which is indigo. I love indigo. I think that's in all my brands of watercolour. Indigo is one of my faves. So let's see how this stands up. Not as dark as a Daniel Smith, but it's equally as beautiful as my schminky one. Oh, that's pretty. That's very pretty. And next is cobalt violet. I'm so excited about these colours. I'm ridiculously excited about these colours. Oh, that's a pretty colour. About these colours. The colours are so beautiful. Oh my God. They do dry back quite a bit, but I'm still happy with the overall effect for my type of art. I'm really happy with it. I have no idea how they mix yet. We're about to find that out. I'll be mixing them on the paper when I test them for my feathers. Burnt sienna. Okay. Let's see what burnt sienna's like. That is strong. I like it. I like it. And I do lots of animals and lots of wildlife. So this is one of my most used colours. June is fine. I called her on the phone this morning. Oh, excellent. Glad to hear it. Oh, you're away. That's right. I forgot you were away for a week, mate. I forgot. And then raw umber. And it's got a white, so that'll be interesting. So this is raw umber. Got to get a bit more on my... It wets up really quickly, like really easily. It lifts off the pan very, very easily. Okay, well, that's an interesting... That's probably the only colour so far that doesn't tickle my fancy, but it's not bad. Next is black. I don't own a black in watercolour. That's really interesting. This is my first ever black. Oh, wow, it's black. Funny thing that. I don't own a black. So this is my first ever watercolour black. And it's sort of a little bit exciting. It's a bit liberating because something I've never had and never had access to. So that's really interesting. Actually, it's a greyish black, but I like it. Payne's grey's got more of a purpley tint to it, and a white, which you're not going to see, but I'm going to use it anyway. Because why? Because we can. And then I'm going to do something. So that's me white. You can sort of see a little bit of sheen. I'm going to actually go over me black with the white, and let's see. Oops. If it alters anything. See how opaque it is. I should probably have let the black dry, but anyway, you live and learn. Well, it does change it. I don't mind that. About 3 hours drive away. Okay, cool. I might let that dry. Or even, let's grab one of my markers. Where's my fine liner? Grab a fine liner. A black fine liner would be ideal. Let's have a look and see. I'm just going to fill it in with my micron pen like that. Make it a solid black line. And let's go over it with the white and see if how opaque the white is. So I've got that. Pop that back in my doodah, aka bag of tricks. And then, whoop, Wow, look at that. That's impressive. Okay, well, I'm rather happy with that, because when I lose my whites in my paintings, this will be my go-to apart from gouache, I think. That's not bad. Not bad at all, if I do say so myself. Righto. So we've swatched them out, so now I know what I've got. So what I'm going to do is get the paper I prepared earlier and pop my palette just here, whoops-a-daisy, like that. Do my doodah like that so you can see it better. And we are going to get into these feathers. So I'm going to start by drawing. We're going to go for fun colours. Let's go for fun colours. Have I got any fun coloured feathers? I do. So we are going to do a black, blue and grey feather. So I'm just going to start by drawing the outline. And I'll go over it. Oop, that. I do love feathers. And here we have birds of all colours, parrots of every kind and variety you can imagine. So I actually need to go on a walk and pick up all the feathers that get dropped, because I've got beautiful little blue wrens, fairy wrens in my garden out the front of the house. And I can get their funny little feathers. They're the cutest little dudes. And they've got the most beautiful, vibrant blue feathers. So I'm just literally just doing jaggedy sort of straight patterns. Jaggedy stringy bits is what I meant to say. Then it sort of comes up into a point like that. There's the shaft of the feather, goes there like that. There we go. So that's our basic feather shape. Do a little line down the middle. And I'm going to go mad and use all kinds of colours. I'm going to see how this flows. Oh, I'm so excited. So we're going to see how this flows. And yeah, you can see feathers. Actually, I'll draw my other feathers in now too. What it might as well. Hey, I'll draw a few feathers. Let's have a look. What other sort of shapes have I got? I can do one that's about this shape. You can just sort of, you know, bend around, because they get bent when they're on the ground, and like that. Do the shaft of the feather down the middle very lightly. Whoops, change that, just erase it. Where's me eraser? Oh no, oh, there it is, found it. It's okay, nothing to see here. So let's erase that. Put that down there like that. I'm excited to mix the colours and see how they mix on the palette. I'm so excited. So we'll do 3 or 4 feathers, I reckon. What other ones have I got? Let's do a do we want to do a stripy feather? Let's do that one. Let's do a blue and white stripy one. So we'll do, I'm using just references I found online for today, but I am going to be going out in my garden and picking up as many feathers as I can find, I think. Because these are a fun way to sample watercolour with no pressure. No, you know, you don't have to worry about intricate detail. You can if you want to, I suppose, but it's just a bit of fun. Oops, I might make that a bit more jaggedy. Like that. Then coming down into there. Like that. Then pop the step in, or the shaft of the feather. Just make that a really light line. I'll try and stay away from that when I'm adding the colours. Righto, that's 3 feathers. 3 feathers. Let's get into it. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so we are going to start with, what colour are we going to start with? Let's go with, I reckon, we're going to wet the feather. I'm just going to clean my brush, wet this side of it. I'm just going to let these colours all run in and see how it flows. This is so exciting, peeps. Okay, so I'm going to go down. So I've wet the paper on the left-hand side, and I am going to drop in a bit of, what is that? That is raw umber. I'm going to drop a bit of raw umber in up here. Drop in the raw umber. like that, and let it flow. And that's it. Let that flow. Then I'm going to go mad and go into my turquoise blue. Ooh. Okay, where's turquoise? Hang on, I've got to get my colour charty doodah. Turquoise blue is this one. While that paper's still wet, drop in turquoise. Oh, look at that. Woohoo, that took off in the water like a happy little camper that it is. Look at that. More wordy, wordy, word. Look at that. Okay. Take that down. And I can drop a couple of other blues in, because why not? I might drop a bit of indigo up here. Why? Because I felt like it. And into there. Like that. Into the bottom of that side of the feather. Whoops, pick up that bead of water. I want to keep the stem of the feathers white, or light at least. Whoops. That paper's drying a little bit. So I'll re-wet here. And I'm going to drop in a bit of the black. And let it flow. Let it flow, let it flow. Wow. Okay, I like that so far. And then we're going to wet this side completely. So take that in, wet that completely. Whoops, and doesn't matter, I don't mind, I can pick that up. Just take the excess moisture off my brush and pick that up. Doesn't matter that it comes across from the other side. And I'm going to do, what colours am I going to do on this side? I might stick to the same colours. I might go a bit of the raw umber at the top. We use different colours for each feather, because why not? Did I wet that enough? Oops, a daisy. Clean your brush properly first, then I'll re-wet that. I thought I'd wet that, but I haven't wet it properly. Needs it's drying fast. So I'll wet down there. Then I'll go in, you know what, I might even add a little bit of my turquoise pale. Oops. Just for fun. Because why not? Let it flow down. Then a bit of indigo. Where did my indigo go? The indigo go? There it is. I don't know my palette yet. It takes me a little while to get familiar with my palette, so I'm just going to pick up that bead. So you take the moisture out of your brush and just lift it off. And I've got a white, so if I miss anything, I can pop it back. So now, what other colours have we got? Let's go brightly coloured. I can do a blue with dark stripes. Let's just Google. Feathers are so fun. You can do so many colours. Yes, they are so fun. And you can do them as detailed or as plain as you like, which is really cool. I'm just going to Google bright feathers just to get colour ideas. Bright feathers. Just to get colour references. Whoa, they've gone rainbows. Okay. But why not? Let's do that. Because why not? We're going to go with some purples. So let's go mad. I'm going to wet all this side of this feather, leaving the gaps between. These are lovely, Madonna. I like that they're, I like the way they dry. They do have a colour shift, but they're still beautiful. They've still got, I don't know, there's something about them that I like. Okay, so let's go. What colour purples have we got? Let's go pinks. Let's go up here. Let's go into Rose Madder. Drop in the Rose Madder. I've only done the left-hand side. And let it flow. And drag it down the bottom a bit. And then I reckon a bit of yellow. Bit of yellow, which is lemon yellow. Bit of lemon yellow. Let it flow. And I can add the little liney bits towards the end if I feel like it. what other colour? And I'm going to go a little bit of scarlet. I'm using all of the colours. I mean, that should send out yellow orange. But we'll see. That's really pretty. That is really pretty. We're going to pick up all that excess water because I've gone a bit mad. So I've got a ton of water floating around on there. So just take the excess moisture off my brush and run it down. So what have you guys got on for the rest of, or the last of your weekend? And I'll do the same colours down this side. So I'm just going to wet that side of the feather. Wet that side. And I might stay with the same colours just for symmetry's reasons. And then I'll go over the top and I can add blues to the veins in the feathers and things. Just for a bit of interest. Whoa, so I've just got that on my palette. Whoops, mixed them on the palette, don't do that. Okay. Come down here. Drag that down. This paper's drying fast. Take that right down. I'm going to re-wet this bottom part just to make it so it's a bit more flowy. And then I'm going to go back in with my scarlet. Like that. Let that flow round. Ooh, look at that. All right, what other colours have we got? Oh, I should do a peacock feather. I should draw a peacock one down here. I might have to do that. So I'm just going to find any other colours that I feel like, because we've got gorgeous little birds, rainbow finches, and they are a rainbow of colours. They are absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to do, this is ultramarine. I need to wet my paper first. So I'm going to go wet the whole feather. This one, I'm going to wet the whole feather. I'm not going to do one side at a time. Wet the whole feather. You can see how simple the shapes are and how much fun you can have just doing these. Going home tomorrow, nice. Okay, so I've wet all of those feathers and I'm going to add, let's go, what am I going to use? I'm going to go purple. I haven't tried the purple. So let's go, or cobalt violet rather. So I'm going to drop in cobalt violet. This is a fun way to see how they act together on the palette, on the paper as well. And I'm not doing any kind of colour theory here. I'm just adding colours to see what they do. And then I'm going to go a bit of rose madder. Like that. Drop it in, just let it go. Oops, like that. Might just pick up that bit. It's gone a bit rogue. Working on a watercolour peony for a friend. Ooh, nice. Very nice. I'm just starting to get into flowers and floral paintings. And yeah, are you streaming it? Or you filming it for YouTube? So I'll pop, because if you are, I'd love to watch how you do it. So that's just red. So I'm using all the reds and violet colours on here, on this one. And then I'm going to go into the darkest violet, cobalt violet, down the bottom. Oh, look at that. Look at that. How pretty is that? And I'm going to let that dry. And I reckon we're going to try a peacock feather. Do we want to try a peacock feather? Actually, I can go back into this first one now and draw in, painting rather, the spiny bits. What do you call them? I forgot what the word for it is. We're going to do it in blue. We're not going to use the black. And so far, I haven't even used my separate palette. I've just mixed it. I've done them on the, I've just picked up pure colour off the tray. So I'm just going to draw these lines very gently, like that. Peacock feathers are gorgeous. I'm just going to So I'm just using, what colour am I using? I'm using ultramarine. And I'm just using the finest tip of my brush. Got to really wet that. I'm just going to, because this brush is very fine, so I've just popped a bit more water on my palette. And then come in and around like that. This is fun. And I'm just adding the little liney segments in. And now their official name is liney segments because I forgot the terminology. And you can see that actually that dries back quite pale, but I don't really mind. It's still quite beautiful and soft and elegant and lovely. It's very lovely. It's very lovely. And I'm going to make a stronger line down this side. Oops. Like that. Take that down the shaft of the feather. I've actually got a beautiful fountain pen that I will use in Inktober that's a feather fountain pen. Not fountain pen, dip pen, sorry. A feather dip pen. So I'm excited to use that. I'll do that, use that in Inktober. That and my dip pens will be pulled out of retirement. Okay. Got to change the directions of some of them because they don't all go in the same sort of direction. So for the blues, I'm just using a darker blue over the top, just to give them, and I'm using, so now it's dry on dry. So wet on dry, but just enough water to lift the paint off the palette and onto dry paper to do these little lines. And the very, very tip of my brush. And I'll come down onto here. Okay, take that down and around, and then there's the little stringy feathers, the little fronty bits that come down here. Like this feathers that are damaged at the very bottom, and that looks quite cute. I'm quite happy with that. So now for the pink ones, I'm going to go in with stronger reds. So for that one, I used, so the first colour is Rose Madder, so I'm going to go over the Rose Madder. I'm going to spray these actually. I'm just going to get my spray. I'm using an old spare spray bottle that I had handy. Righto. And then I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. So whatever colour I've got, I'm just going to go the slightly stronger version of it. So for the pinks, I'll go over with a stronger red. For the yellows, I'll go over with a stronger yellow, like a cadmium yellow or something like that. Whoops-a-days. I might try and draw a peacock feather towards the end because I can't help myself. I'll pop him down here, just a little peacock feather. And then on the yellows, I'm going to go in with a bit of cadmium yellow over the top of the lemon yellow. We can see how that does what it does. Whoops, that shows, that's nice. Like that. All right, and then the bottom colour I think I used Scarlet. So I'm going to use Rose Madder Deep. Oh, that's pretty. That is so pretty. Come up there a bit. Like that. That's really pretty. And take that around the bottom of there and the edge of that feather. Okay, and I will go down the whole length of the spine of that feather with cadmium scarlet. Try and do it in one sweep. Oops, doesn't matter. There we go. I'm a bit wiggly wobbly, but not to worry. Then on this lovely one, I think this is my favourite, I'm going to pop blues over the top, I think. Or we'll see what happens. You know what I haven't used? I haven't used greens, but I can use them in the peacock, can't I? So I'm going to go rose madder over the top of this. See if it comes up. See if you can see it. It shows you and I don't have to do solid lines. They can be broken lines like that. Then I'm going to go, what am I going to use? I'm going to go a bit of the red over the top of this. Like that. Take them out in different lengths. I quite like them just as flowy watercolour-y bits. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You can just have them as an effect, like just that flowing into each other, the illusion of a feather. These are going to be fun for leaves too. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my ultramarine over the top here on the purple or the violet. What colour is that? That is cobalt violet, but I'm using ultramarine blue over the top. So I can. Why not? So I'm just playing with all the colours on top of each other to see how they cover, if they cover, all of that jazz. All that jazz. So come down there like that. All right, now let's find a peacock. Let's find a peacock feather. And we'll just go rogue with it and see how we go feather. And we might not even draw it in. We might just, we'll just try painting it in. Let's do that. Let's go completely rogue. But it takes the pressure off it having to be perfect. You know, it can just be a fun sort of sketchy peacock colour, peacock feather. So I'm going to start. I'm going to do it down here. So I'll draw in the shape. And I'm going to do it with, I think I'm going to go in with my malachite. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go in with malachite and do just rough shapes around the eye of the feather, like that. And then I'm going to come down, literally follow down the shape. I love this colour. Follow down the line. Their feathers have got quite definite separation of the liney bits, of the stringy bits of the feathers. I need to learn the terminology, don't I? But you know what I mean. I'm an artist. I'm not a zoologist. I love birds. I think they're pretty. I love their feathers. I love their colours. Oops, and I splattered it. But that's okay because I don't care because it's fun. This is fun. Not the end of the world if I splatter it everywhere. Okay, so that's basically the outline, sort of. That'll do. Just to give you the idea. And then just add a few more texture bits up there. The eye's going to go in here. So then I'm going to go into a darker green. So I'm going to use my sap green light. We're going to go sap green light. Go sap green light. And we're going to go around the edge of where the eye would be. Need to have a sip of my water, I think. My voice is going a bit silly. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Okay. These are pretty. So go that around the edge. So it's just a stronger green colour around the edge of the eye. take that down the shaft of the feather like that. And then we've got a beautiful goldy sort of colour. So we're going to go, I'm going to use the yellow ochre. I'm going to use a yellow ochre in here. And I'm going to go, and I don't mind if the colours mingle a little bit, doesn't bother me, because that'll just make a green anyway. So I'm going around the edge here, whoops, and get my yellow ochre a bit more. I want to keep it a bit less solid looking than I've got it. So just like that. And then there's a lovely light blue. So I think I'm going to use my ultramarine pale. I should let that dry a little bit. I shouldn't. I need to let that dry a fraction. So what I'll do is I'll go back onto my malachite colour that I put down first. And while that main feather's drying in the middle, I'll add some more finer details coming around. Just while I'm letting that dry. That is a gorgeous little colour. I love the colours. Look how the pinks have dried. Look how those have dried. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have so much fun doing flowers with these. So much fun. These are going to be gorgeous for florals. Just saying. They are going to be gorgeous for florals. Not that I do a lot, but they're going to be a fun one to practice with. So I think that's dry enough now. So I'm going to go in with my, what is it? It's ultramarine pale into here, into the centre of the eye of the feather. And I'm just going to fill that in. Fill that in like that. And leave that sit for a second. Just let that sit for a second. I might go down the stem of this peacock feather with ultramarine. Whoops, today's. I'll get a bit of ultramarine on my brush. I need to get some more water on there. On the tip of my brush. Like that, and come up. Whoops, today's. Too much water now. I've gone from not enough, pardon me, to too much. But that's okay. I don't mind. So I do that. Then I'm going to go in with my violet, cobalt violet. And I'm going to do that part of the feather just there. Like that. And that is a very simplified, incredibly simplified peacock feather. And very little simplified peacock feather. Well, that's fun. But I reckon I like these a lot. So what other feathers have we got? Do we want to do any more? What else have we got? You can go mad with colours on these. We might just do one loose watercolour. I'm just going to wet the paper this time. I'm not going to even draw a shape. I'm just going to wet, well, I'm going to wet the shape. I'm going to wet the shape down here. I need to use, obviously I've used blues in there. I need to do greens. So I'm going to come down, literally just wet the paper in the shape of a feather. My puppy dog's just come in and wants to jump up on my lap. And I'm going to use the greens. So I'm going to use sap green at the top. Like that. I'm going to go sap green light next. Like that. Then I'm going to go bit of hookers green. Like that. What else have we got? Sap green deep. Oops, nope, I missed that. Didn't get it on the brush at all, did I? That was good. There we go. That's better. Like that. And then go back to my Viridian and just take that down like that. Take that right down the spine, just for a bit of fun. And I can go over the top of that with, I might go over the top of that with a little bit of black, because why not? Just let it dry a little bit. You can have fun with all the colours on these. Actually, I'm going to go in with, yeah, well, I'll touch a black onto this feather. Just a touch. Like that. The centre line of the feather. I've never used black in watercolour. That is so cool. Just adding it in a few different spots just for fun. Just because I can, because why not? Then this little guy down here. Woo, look at that flow. Okay. Not sure that I like that, but anyway. Got to have one little faux pas on the thing, but I'll go over that and see if I can tidy that up into a feathery looking thing. So I'm going to see how it scrubs back. Can I lift it? So if I take my clean wet brush, I can lift. Look at that. That lifts okay. My goodness. Okay. That green lifted really well. Okay. Cool, cool. Look at that. My goodness. Okay. That's a surprise. That's a pretty decent surprise, got to say. So now, because I put that grey where I didn't like, that black where I didn't like it, I'm going to go over it and see what happens. Go over it with the white. It'll blend a bit, but I don't care. We're just having a play, seeing how the mop flops and what we can do. I don't mind that. Let's salvage that. I'll let it dry a little bit. I can start working on the feathery bits down here, the details in the feathery bits down here. And I might go in, I should stick with the, I might go in with the blue, you know. Just down this bottom part. Oh, no, too much water on my brush. Oh, look how that lifts off. My goodness gracious me, that lifts off easily. That's a surprise and a half. Did not expect that kind of lifting. That's amazing. Not a bad thing. That's a good thing. I like that. I like that a lot, in fact. Wow, okay. So I'm just going to pop some lines just to define the feathers a little bit more. This feather a little bit more. Put some stringy little bits coming down here. Going over the green, as you can see, going over the green here. Wow. And I'm just going to pop some little bits at the top, like that. I'm going to pick up that excess bead of water. Just take the moisture off my brush. Like that. There we go. Well, that was tons and tons of fun. Oh my God, it lifts so well, Madonna. Have you ever tried these? They lift incredibly well, like ridiculously well. I'm going to do a portrait with these, and I'm going to see, and I'm going to do skies with these, and not because you can lift out the clouds much easier. I mean, you can lift off most watercolours, but these lift off incredibly. I would not have thought the green would almost go back to white paper. I would not have thought that in a million years. So I reckon I'm going to call that done. That was lots of fun. That was tons of fun. But yeah, I recommend these as a fun paint to use. I don't know whether they're light fast. I'm not sure of their details, but yeah, I'll be doing a bit more research into them to find out if they are or not. But they're a ton of fun. No matter what you do with them, they're going to be fun to create with. And the colours are gorgeous. You haven't tried them, but will for sure. Yeah, they're fun. They're fun. They are going to be. Look at the vibrancy. Like it holds the beautiful brights. I mean, my camera's probably not doing them justice, but they just look divine. So I'm rather excited. Love it. They're also they're gorgeous. I'm so excited, Madonna. But yes, so thank you so much for watching and sharing this. This is actually my first proper opening of a palette and doing a thing like this. So thank you for hanging out with me. That was lots and 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 lots of fun. And I'll be doing another one after watercolour month because I've got some art graphites that I want to try. So, but I'll stick with watercolours for this month, but I will definitely be using these for the prompts from now on. Definitely, a bazillion % going to be using these. I might have to go and get the pearlescent ones now because they have pearlescent ones. Oh, Ariane, good night, Dale. Thank you so much for being here. Have an awesome day, and I will see you all soon. Well, I'll be back tomorrow for World Watercolour Month. Have a great day, guys. Day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a great one. I'll catch you later.